Itadori Yuji will return to Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, this is my video putting my stake in the ground with all the evidence that we have that Yuji will return in JJK Modulo, and I truly believe he is going to have a insane role, and just with Gege's writing and everything we've seen, Yuji will appear in this final arc. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Be sure to leave a like on the video, it helps out so much. Thank you very much. And of course, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for a ton of consistent and quality JJK Modulo content just like this. If you love JJK Modulo, I promise you, you're not going to regret subscribing. Alright, so let's just start. I truly believe Yuji is going to come back, and the reason I'm making this video is because as the recent chapters have been coming out, slowly people have actually been believing Yuji won't come back. This is because we don't have so many chapters left, only about 6-7 chapters, not so many left. So people are thinking, if Yuji comes back, is he even going to have a big role? And mainly this video is inspired by Hundred's video saying Yuji will not return to Jujutsu Kaisen. 100, by the way, is a fantastic JJK YouTuber, if not one of the very best Jujutsu Kaisen YouTubers out there, and he made an amazing video explaining why he believes Yuji won't come back. And actually, I think all of his points are great, and I agree with them, but just I think Yuji will come back for points I'm going to say in this video. And it's important I say this isn't disproving his video. I think either him or me could be right, like we're both going to make great points. All it comes down to is, what is Gege himself going to choose? That's literally all it's going to come down to, because again, his video is fantastic, and I would recommend checking that out after my own video. But I think Yuji will come back, and I'm going to list the reasons now. The first reason is all of the evidence and the hype that we've gotten throughout JJK Modulo. Since chapter 1, Yuji was hyped up as being somebody who was remembered as Satoru Gojo's level. He was a legend on that figure, and it was even shown. Yuji was directly shown as well. But after that, it was repeatedly said time and time again throughout many dialogues that we need Itadori Yuji, and Yuji is the strongest we have. What makes this even crazier is that they truly believe that Yuji is a better bet against Nobara than Mahoraga. Mahoraga is simply hope for them, while Yuji is genuinely a good chance to win. They see him as a Nobara and Sukuna and Gojo level character. He's just that strong apparently in the modern day, which makes sense because of his immortal aging. More evidence lies in the fact that Nobara talked about him. There was even several panels dedicated to what's up with Yuji, like he's immortal, he's lived a long time. Literally a whole thing about Nobara in the past recording a video explaining why he vanished. We got to see Yuji 3 times in his prime, once at the age of 60 to 70, once again in the current Modulo arc when he's in his late 80s, and we saw him once again at an unspecified time, probably in his 40s, 50s, or 60s in the flashback of the old man. 3 separate times we have genuinely seen Yuji, with one of them just being him in the modern day. Like, he exists, he was walking in the crowd, he is there. And as it was showing Yuji, it was said by the characters, and this is basically Gege's own way of saying it, we need to find Yuji, we need to bring him back. He has been mentioned, not just shown, but mentioned by full name dozens of times that he needs to return. So the first reason is, it would genuinely baffle me if we have spent all of Modulo from chapter 1 and almost every chapter since, because we've had 17 chapters and 8 of the chapters have directly shown Yuji or mentioned his full name. That's more than half the story, mind you. And if all of that has been happening, and we've had so many teasers literally seeing him, and it just kept being repeated that he needs to come back, for him to not come back, I would be baffled, I would be shocked, and genuinely you would stun. Now, there are arguments saying that Yuji doesn't need to come back because, you know, he would take away from the spotlight of the current cast. The current cast are the ones who need all the spotlight, and I want to say, I don't think Yuji would take anyone's spotlight away. I think Tsurugi, Maru, Cross, Yuka all have gotten their shine, and all Yuji would do is basically that Gojo role at the end. We have seen several times of Gojo, he usually just appears at the end to save the day. For example, in the Tokyo event, when Haname and the other curse users came and invaded, did Gojo coming at the end take away from Todo and Yuji's fight, or anything that happened in the arc? Absolutely not. Yuji got developed, Todo got developed, Todo was made a fan favorite, and that Todo and Yuji versus Haname fight is a Jujutsu Kaisen classic. Just because Gojo came at the end and saved the day, that did not take away from anything we got before. It's the same with Megumi and Yuji in the first season, where Megumi and Yuji had their moments, we got to learn about them. Did that take away when Gojo came at the end and saved it? No, it didn't. We still got that awesome Megumi fight between Sukuna and learning more about both those characters. I'm trying to say, if Yuji were to appear at the end, he wouldn't take away from anything that we've already got. Cross and Maru, especially Tsurugi, have really gotten character depth, and I think we're just going to see more of it. So let's say everything gets resolved and the fights end. If Yuji shows up at the end, he would not take away anything, he would just simply resolve it. And this is my next point. Yuji is the only one who can save Yuka, the only character. A lot of people confuse JJK with being extremely dark, which is true. It is dark, but it's just not as dark as people think. Yes, we've had characters die, like Naname died, Mekamaru died, Choso died, but we've also had a happy ending. Regardless of how many characters died or didn't die, I'm not saying characters don't die. The actual ending we got for Jujutsu Kaisen was incredibly happy. It was a very positive ending. First of all, Higuruma survived. He literally died and came back to life. Same with Kusakabe. He was thought to be dead but came back. Yuta as well. Everyone thought he was going to die, but he survived. And not just talking about characters that survived, but the ending was just so positive. The final chapter was very sweet. Nobara, Megumi, and Yuji were all around. People thought all three were gonna die or Yuji was gonna die. No, Yuji got a happy ending. In the epilogue, Yuji meets that girl that was in love with him again and they start a relationship. Nobara gets closure for her family as well. Even Sukuna gets a closure for everything that happened for him. It was an incredibly happy ending. You can say Jujutsu Kaisen is dark, it's gory, it's got blood and death, but the ending, undeniably, it's just a fact, was a very happy ending. And that is why I believe Yuka is going to survive. I don't think we're getting a dark ending because yes, as I keep saying, Gege is confirmed to be writing Modulo. Gege himself confirmed it, the artist Yuji confirmed it, and Shonen Jump have confirmed it. Gege is writing all of this and even he draws the storyboards. Gege is not going to give us a dark ending. He's not going to do that. I mean, look at Nobara. Nobara literally got deleted, eliminated, and she came back to life at the end and had a whole happy ending and a happy epilogue after the ending. That is the reason why I think Yuka's going to survive. Why does any of this though connect to Yuji? It's because Yuji is the only character who can save her. Right now, as it was confirmed, if Nobara wins, Yuka dies. But if Mahoraga wins, Yuka still dies. Tsurugi said the only way she can be saved is if the ritual is nullified. And the only way it can be nullified is either A, Nobara leaves and goes to space, which can't happen. Literally, there's just not enough time for it to happen. And even if he did go to space and go back to his home planet, which they wouldn't even be able to find it because they only found it due to Maru and Cross's harmony. But even if they went back, Nobara's sister would die due to the curse. The literal only way it can be nullified is if an outsider comes in and the outsider kills Mahoraga, nullifying it, thus saving Yuka's life. The only character who can do this narratively and inverse, logically, it is Yuji. The only chance for Yuka to survive is Yuji coming in and killing Mahoraga. Nobody else is strong enough to one-shot Mahoraga. There's just not a character that's that strong. If there was a character strong enough to one-shot Mahoraga, they would have sent that character to fight Nobara, not Mahoraga himself. That is why I truly believe Yuji has to come in, and Yuji could even be the one to cure Yuka's cancer, potentially dismantling on a cellular level, using Shrine and cutting up the cancer and destroying it that way, or even better, he could use blood manipulation, which he's had for 68 years and mastered on a godlike level. He could use that and manipulate the blood and cancer within Yuka and cure her that way. I mean, there's so many options it could go, honest to God, like even soul manipulation. But even not including that, it just has to be Yuji to save Yuka from Mahoraga because there's no other choice. And my biggest and final reason, even if you don't believe any of this, my biggest reason as to why Yuji will come back is because Gege will do anything for the hype. I predicted Nobara was gonna come back for 2 years. I kept making videos. I made 6 videos on it over the 2 years before she came back, and everyone kept saying I was wrong. Everyone kept saying I was coping. I'm not just saying that. Please check out any of the comments of my Nobara videos. Search Nobara Kaio Breeze on YouTube. See all of my videos and just see how everyone's saying I'm coping and I'm wrong. I made a video 12 hours before the leaks came out that Nobara's gonna return, that Nobara's gonna return next chapter. Everyone said I was coping and wrong, and I ended up being right. For the one sole reason, and that is Gege cannot resist creating a hype moment. He just can't help himself. That is why I kept saying Nobara's gonna come back, because it would just be a hype moment. It would be a great moment. And Gege has said in interviews that what he prioritizes the most is week-to-week hype. It's getting the reader's attention and having things be hype and crazy. That's why JJK is one of the greatest selling mangas in history. Especially week-to-week, it's had a hype that has never been seen in all of the internet before. And that's because of Gege's specific writing style. And we're seeing him do that once again of Modulo. Mahoraga is summoned, fights Nobara. Cross and Maru have this special Jujutsu technique, Chaos and Harmony, and the next chapter Rika comes back and fuses with Tsurugi. It is Gege 101, and Gege is the one writing this and drawing the storyboards. Yuji is just the artist who draws all of the fine art and the great details. Gege would definitely bring Yuji back for the sole reason that, as he has said himself in interviews, as it was the reason I predicted Nobody's gonna come back, Gege wants the hype more than anything. And what would be more hype than bringing back Itadori Yuji himself? There's nothing more hype than that. That is why I believe he's gonna bring him back. I mean, look at even the Yuta taking Gojo's body. That was simply a hype moment, I'm not gonna lie. Like, out of everything, it ended up being pointless. I mean, yeah, there was a point to it, like, don't get me wrong, and it was great for Yuta's character, probably one of the best things for his character, but at the end of the day, I know Gege, man. I just know he did it just for the hype of it to have Gojo back. I just know it. I swear to God, I would bet my life that is the true reason he did it. And for that sole reason alone, I would bet my channel, I would bet everything I have that Yuji's gonna come back. And if he doesn't come back, I'll delete my channel. That's how sure I am that Gege cannot resist this hype moment. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think Yuji's gonna come back? I'd love to hear what you think. Be sure to leave a like on the video, it helps out so much. Thank you very much. And of course, subscribe for a ton of consistent and quality JJK content just like this. If you love JJK Modulo, you will not regret subscribing that much, I promise you. But that's all from from me. Have a great day, guys, and take care.